Hey, how's everyone doing this morning? Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I'm getting an early start, as you can see. So some new news just came down from Acura yesterday, and I thought it was pretty interesting just to see the direction they're going. I was excited when I heard about it. I wanted to get your guys' input on it. You know, a lot of things changing with the car market, as we can tell, a lot of things going to EV and crossovers and SUVs and things like that. But this will be an interesting one for sure. So let me go ahead and get into it and tell you exactly what just came out. So if you haven't seen the news, Honda just announced that they're bringing back one of the old Acura vehicles. So you know they brought back the Integra. That was nostalgic back when it was popular in the 2000s. But now they just announced they're bringing back the Acura RSX. They built the RSX between 2001 and to 2006. And they even had the Type S version here. Looks like this. And I always liked that one. It had the big spoiler on it. And they had the factory underbody spoilers around the whole thing. Looked really sharp, more like a coupe design. And it had the nice manual transmission in it. A buddy of mine actually had one. And I just thought it always looked like a sharp car, and it handled really well because it was a really small car. But if you're hoping something like that's coming back, unfortunately, it's not going to look just like that. So here's the rendition is what's coming out. So you can see it's kind of similar in the way it has that coupe look to it. I mean, this is a four-door vehicle. Similar, but this is more like a crossover. It's a little bit higher ground clearance, a little bit taller. And the interesting thing about this is it's going to be Acura's first EV that they're going to build 100%. If you know, the first one that they did was the ZDX, but that used a lot of GM parts. And then if you look at GM's counterpart, it had almost a similar switchgear. So it's kind of like they're using the same parts for both cars. So a lot of people that went to test drive the ZDX said it didn't have that Acura feel because it had a lot of the GM, you know, like the window switches and things like that. It had that GM feel. So it really didn't feel like you're sitting in an Acura. Where this one's going to be 100% made by Acura. It's going to be made in actually Honda's Ohio EV plant that they just made. So that could be some good news as far as like what we've come to know of Honda and Acura. It should have more of that feel to it when you get in. If you've been in like Hondas and Acuras, they all have the similar, you know, switches and an interface, that kind of thing. So this should kind of follow those lines. Whereas the ZDX kind of went off and they branched out with GM, and then people said it didn't feel like an Acura anymore just because it had the badge on it. A lot of it looked different. Even the infotainment screen looked a little different. So this will be interesting to see if it kind of comes back to that. And like I said, it just came out yesterday, the news about it. They are going to start producing it at the end of this year. So you're going to get to know a lot more about this in the coming months as far as, you know, the specs, what the interior will look like, because right now you can't really tell. They just have that one rendering of what it will look like. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Like I said, they like to use the nameplates. Understand that. But of course, this isn't a little two-door sports car like the RSX was. I guess if it looks kind of similar in the fact that it's a more coupe design, but you know that's the way the market's going. It's going to be EV for everything pretty soon. And so if I was going to buy EV, at least this one seems interesting because it would be 100% made by Honda. That's something I would lean more towards than something that had the Honda or Acura logo on it, and then they partnered with GM, and then they both had their kind of hand in it, if you will. That I don't know if I'm too excited about. So as far as that goes, at least this one will be 100% Honda product. So I am curious about that to see what it looks like, because I do like how Acura does their interiors a lot. You know, they're add a little bit more to them, a little bit more refinement. You know, so I'd like to see what the EVs will look like, since a lot of the gas counterparts are going away, sadly, but that's the way it's coming to. So if you guys are kind of looking for an EV and you're kind of cross shopping the ZDX, you know, you might want to wait now because like I said, they're going to start building that at the end of this year. So not even a year, and they're going to start making these things. So if you're going to invest your money into something and you just weren't sold on the ZDX, now this will be smaller than that. So if you need some, like a bigger vehicle, this won't be the way to go because they've already announced that this will be a more compact crossover. But if you just want to get a vehicle and you don't need something huge and you do want EV, you know, it might be worth waiting to see, you know, maybe a few more months. I would say probably June. You'll get to see what these things will look like inside, the actual picture of the outside, what it'll look like, give you an idea, you know. And if I was in the market and I had to wait another 6 months for something like this, I would probably wait because, you know, buying a vehicle nowadays is a big purchase since the price has gone up so much and you kind of want to get it right. So at least get your options out there. So again, let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this. You know, not just that the RSX nameplate's coming back because that doesn't really mean a whole lot. With this, has nothing to do with the RSX, how it used to be. But of a crossover electric SUV, that will be 100% made by Honda. That's probably the biggest selling point, I think, of this thing. Again, just drop me a comment, let me know. Hope everyone's having a good day out there, staying safe. I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again, everybody.